Welcome to a breath of fresh footy. It's Matty here, and it's time to make a sequel to the I had, which was the rant. And today I'm not ranting at all. In fact, I'm really pumped. I think what Arsenal did to United, and I think how they went about that game was just absolutely phenomenal. Three players of the round for me was El Neni, the wonderful Thomas Partey, best signing of the summer, and the second best signing for value of money, Gabriel. Absolutely immense. Bossed that midfield. United, they just had no clue whatsoever. Was just bloody good. What a fantastic victory. And then we come to the Europa League, and Mr. Ceballos on fire, mate. With Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock was enormous in that midfield. It was just such fantastic Arsenal football. Really, really, really good. They looked so stable. And even having a poor first half, what I love is that they ground out and were 1-1 at half time through pressure from the 35th minute. So from the 35th minute to the 90th minute, absolutely pumped Mulder. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Fantastic, fantastic footy. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's nice to have two wins with two completely different teams. So I'm seeing the squad depth. I'm seeing Arteta's make up his mistake, and that the team is following this sort of structure. Might not be the most brilliant football you'll watch, but during these times, you really need structure. You need that stability. And playing that 3-4-3 formation was fantastic against United. And today we see this 4-3-3 with that mixture of a 3-4-3 with the structure. Absolutely on point. I really, really liked it. And I'm so glad Mr. Pepe just keeps kicking goals. The guy needs to start. I agree with some comments from pundits and Mr. DT and some from AFTV. I agree that his passing, the way that he's kicking, is far better at the moment than Willian. But I like having Willian in the team as well as David Luiz because they're the people who are being leaders in the team, something we haven't seen for a long time. And in the United game, even Bellerin, the model who I always go against, he was absolutely on point. What a fantastic game. He passed brilliantly in that United game, but he also was able to get that penalty. Bellerin of 2 years ago would not have done that. So the level of maturity that's coming through because there's respect for the manager is absolutely phenomenal. I totally get why Roy Keane said what he said during the week. Potentially players shouldn't be calling their managers by their first name. But if Mikel is happy with it, the manager, if he's happy with it, Arteta's is happy with that, and he's said on numerous broadcasts that he's happy for the players to call him whatever they want, it shows that he respects them. He's their guy. He's played with a lot of these players before. He's played against them, but there's a respect. It's something that I don't see in the United team at all. And what's making this season look very, very dangerous is that there's teams that are just taking games left, right, and centre, and it's really leaving teams like City, who I think are playing really, really well. They had a very solid victory in the Champions League, and they were fine in the Premier League. Sure, it wasn't beautiful getting the results. Liverpool winning games. I mean, it's all looking very solid, but nice to be having the Arsenal back on with the images and stuff because we can see there's something going on. That's all supporters want. We know that they're probably not going to win an EPL for the next 2 or 3 years. But by golly gosh, they are doing a great job over the last couple of games. Really, really good. Very easy to see this structure. I love when I read these articles on Fox Sports or whatever I see when it says Man City 2.0. I don't care if it's 2.0. I just want to see that the players understand what's going on, what they need to do, how they're they are doing their defending. I mean, I never thought I would say this, but a $5 million player made a £250 million midfield look like 16-year-old children. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. El Neni, absolutely on fire. And there was this video about him defending that went viral everywhere, all over the place. It was 3 minutes of him in the last 3 minutes of the United game, just chasing down everything. I mean, that is real team play. Absolute kudos to what he's done over the last 12 months. His stint in Turkey really has turned him into a really excellent squad player. And him and Party pairing together, absolutely phenomenal. I love it. They just are able to complement each other. And what I think as well, what Claude, Lee Gunner, Mr. DT, Robbie, a lot of these players, even the ESPN FC, I think what they've said really clearly, and I agree with the viewpoint, is that El Neni knows that he's restricted with things. I actually think he's quite a talented footballer. Some were saying that he doesn't have much skill. I actually think he's got a lot. But what is great is that because now we have this defensive midfielder behind him like Partey, who's an absolute boss, it's giving the freedom for El Neni not to have to think backwards all the time, which we always gave him the nickname Muhammad El Sideways. I know Mr. DT started with that, but many other pundits said the same thing. However, what was great about that is that because he's got that faith within that backline now with Gabriel, Partey, this spine is starting to come through. And you're seeing brilliant El Neni passing things forward, sideways, backwards, in all directions, but with a lot of flair, a lot of great disposal. I love it. Disposal, this is the key thing. And with him, I've never had issues with his disposal. I just never thought that he ever thought forward with his footy. It's all changing, and you can see because it's the structure. And you can see that when a manager is able to speak to his troops and he's able to get them pepped up, that's why he's so good. There was a list of managers that came out with potential, good, elite, and world-class. At one stage, Arteta's was in that potential. After these few results, articles are already putting him as an elite coach. He's a very, very, very good manager of people. Of course, the world-class ones we know, Pep Guardiola, Klopp, they're phenomenal. And they'll take some catching. But I see Arteta's doing something that I haven't seen at Arsenal for a very, very long time. It's just great to see structure. None of us are saying they're world beaters. That's not the point. We just want to see, for the first time in 10 years, that we have actually something to go into different games. So when we're on top, we play with a structure that allows that to work. And we're seeing goals happen, especially in the Europa League with our youngsters. Fantastic. That's what you want that competition to do. And the Carabao Cup and stuff. And what I'm liking in the EPL at the moment, especially winning for the first time in Old Trafford in 14 years, is to see how they go about it. And I like that they kept this 3-4-3 structure. They bossed that game. I haven't seen Arsenal go to a away team and nearly have the same exact percentage of possession. It was 53-47 to United. To me, that is absolutely bullying a team that should be a top 6 team at their home ground that has a 14-year record against us in the EPL. That's an excellent sign. I don't care if they're mid-table, because whenever United normally play against us, they always play leagues and leagues ahead. And this is why I don't understand it. Why did they get rid of Smalling? It just makes no sense. That guy batters us all the time. And it shows without his eliteness in the backline, he's not the best defender, but they really needed Smalling that day. And it really, really shows. I'm particularly impressed with Arsenal. I think City's going fantastically well. I mean, I think these teams are going to make the top 6. And we'll try to get into the top 4. January is going to be a very, very key thing. Lots of people don't agree with me. Even my friend Pete at the Net doesn't agree. I think this is going to be a big transfer market. I think there's going to be a lot of players that are going to go around the place because of injuries, especially if the Premier League decide to not challenge for 5 interchanges, just like what they're doing in the Europa and Champions League. I know Artekis has come out and said in a press conference through Sky News that he really wants to see 5 interchanges a game in the EPL to make sure that the injury thing doesn't happen and doesn't cause problems. I think if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a massive January transfer market, even if it's during COVID times, because teams need to top up their squads. It's just inevitable. Teams need to top up their squads, and I hope my mate Pete is right that there isn't much spending because, of course, all the teams are struggling at the moment, but I just can't see it. I can't see it unless this interchange rule changes, especially for the English clubs. So I think we're going to see a big January transfer market. Anyways, I'm really excited. Fantastic play to the Arsenal. Good on them for doing what they've done. Absolutely bossed it. Very, very impressive. Great victories. And we go again on the weekend, and we'll see the battle of the keepers for sure against Aston Villa. Battle of the keepers between Leno and Martinez. Me, I'm still sad that Martinez left, but they made the choice that Leno is our first keeper. Let's see how he goes in this game. Let him prove that he is the keeper to be. I think we have a great shot. To me, if we win 1-0 against Villa, who have been doing really, really well, that's a great 3 games. So I reckon we'll win 2-0, but it'll be the battle of the keepers. I'm Matthew. This is the Breath of Fresh Footy. Remember to subscribe to our videos on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and also go to our Facebook page. Make sure you get a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more subscriptions, the longer we can keep this channel going. And it's the only way at this stage that the English clubs can support, the supporters can support their club properly, because everything is locked up. And we think of all those in England and US and Europe who are going through really tough times with lockdown. As a Victorian, we know what it's all about, and we wish them all the best of luck and keep safe over there. We're a Breath of Fresh Footy. I'm Matty. See you very soon.